everybody, so it's the 2022 Fall York Train Show report coming up right now on Eric's Trains. Alright, so it is Monday, October 24th, 2022, and we are on our way back from the York Train Show in York, Pennsylvania. We flew up there on the 19th. We actually flew into Baltimore and then rented a car and drove up to York, which is about an hour north of Baltimore. And we stayed in York for a few days, and then on Sunday morning we drove up further north to my brother's house. He lives a couple hours north of York, and we visited him, and now it's Monday and we're driving back home. And it's about a 12-hour drive from my brother's house back to my house in Georgia. And so right now we have, a little bit under 6 hours left in that drive. Now, if you don't know what the York Train Show is, it's a really, really big train show that's held twice a year in York, Pennsylvania, and it's pretty much the biggest or one of the biggest train shows in the country. It's kind of like being a kid in a candy store when you go in there. It's a little bit overwhelming. This was her first York, and she actually said that when we were in one of the halls. She said, this is kind of overwhelming, because there's just so many trains everywhere for sale and stuff that it's a lot to take in. But we had a great time. I picked up some new trains that I'll show you as soon as we get home. She found some stuff she liked. I think your favorite thing was the weathered cars that were in the Orange Hall. They had a booth that was selling really nice weathered cars. He's there every year and he does great work, and so we picked up a couple of his cars. But yeah, it was a fantastic time and picked up lots of great stuff. But undoubtedly the highlight of the York show was the social media mixer that we had on Saturday morning. It was myself, and then Chris from RBP Trains, and Jason from JD Stuggs, and Norm Charbonneau from Norm's Trains. And we had a social media mixer Q&A thing in the meeting room of the Orange Hall. And, you know, we weren't sure how many people would show up. We were kind of worried there'd be like 6 people in the room, but it ended up being standing room only. The room was absolutely packed, and it was great. And I had a fun time. I know the other guys did. And I think I could speak for all of us when I say we were extremely grateful and thankful to everybody who turned out. It was a lot of fun, and because of that, it's likely we'll do something like that again at next year's Fall York Meet. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and for me, the best part of the show was meeting all of these people that I've talked to, but I've never met in person. I got to meet Chris and Jason and Norm, and then Matt and Johnny from the Matt and Matt O-Scale Trains podcast, and a whole bunch of other people that I know from the O-Scale community that I've never actually met in person. Like I said, we've got about 5.5 hours. We're on 81 South in the middle of Virginia right now, but fortunately, you don't have to wait 5.5 hours. You only have to wait 1 second. Here we go. All right, so we'll start off with some of the smaller stuff that I picked up at York, and then work our way up to some of the larger, cooler stuff. And that's how I'm building suspense in this video to keep you watching. So for any unboxings in this video, we'll use this knife. This is a Buck 264 Cavalier, and I actually picked this up on the way home from York at a Bass Pro Shop. Pretty nice knife. It's a flipper like that. Very nice. So let's crack open this first bag, and this contains smoke fluid and smoke fluid accessories that I got from the JT's Mega Steam booth in the Orange Hall at York. So let me get all this stuff out of the Ziploc bags. They were kind enough to put everything in Ziploc bags so that it didn't leak out and go all over the place, because it is an oil, and if you had a leak, that could be pretty messy, especially if it happened inside a rental car or inside a suitcase. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you probably know that I'm a big fan of JT's Mega Steam. I've been using it for, oh gosh, probably 15 years now, and I use it in pretty much every smoke unit equipped locomotive that I have. And I like it for 2 reasons. Number one, they have about 1 million different scents, which are really cool. And then also it produces the fullest and whitest smoke of any smoke fluid on the market, in my opinion. Anyway, so I refilled on some smoke fluid while I was at York. They had a little booth set up in the Orange Hall. And so, first of all, he gave me 3 free samples of some experimental scents that he's working on. So He's got blue spruce, which kind of has a light sort of pine tree smell. It's very nice. Then he's got this Magi Gifts, maybe it's Magic Gifts, misspelled, I don't know. And I forget what this smells like. It's kind of leathery, very interesting. It's a real nice smell. And then he's got this Cinders. And of all the scents that we tried out at the booth, this was my girlfriend's favorite. She absolutely loved this scent. It's hard to describe. I mean, how do you describe the smell of cinders? I don't even know what real cinders smell like, but this smells great. It's kind of light. It's not too overpowering. It's very nice. And then I got some large bottles of some stuff that I use on a regular basis. So I was out of vanilla, so I got a big thing of vanilla. I got a thing of Fireplace. I used to have a smaller thing of this, and I used it all up. I liked it, so I got a big one. And it smells like a fireplace. That's the best way to describe it. And then I got a big thing of my all-time favorite scent, which is Forest and Stream. This is pretty much the default scent that I use on most occasions. And I like it because it's kind of a clean, fresh smell. It's not overpowering. It just, in my opinion, smells great. It smells like Forest and Stream. Again, that's the best way I know how to describe it. And when you buy stuff from JT's Megasteam, you can get it in the big bottle like this, or you can get it in smaller bottles like this. And the smaller bottles have a little dropper on it. But usually when I find a scent that I like, you know, if I haven't tried a scent before, I'll get the small bottle. This is the Big Boy Premium Blend. But once I know I really like a scent, I'll get a large bottle of it like this. And then I'll use a funnel like this to pour it into one of these small dispenser bottles that you can also buy from JT's Megasteam. This is the JT's Megasteam Smoke Fluid Ultra Fine Point Dispenser. And so I'll open up one of these, put the funnel there, and then pour the smoke fluid from the large bottle into the small dispenser bottle. And these are great. These needlepoint dispensers, I use them all the time. And every time I go to York, I usually buy a few more. I've tried to find this kind of dispenser bottle on the web, but I just couldn't find it. I could find stuff that was close, but just not like this, and these are perfect, and so I always get them from JT's Megasteam. And just as a little FYI, JT's also makes a couple other fluids. They make this one, which is called the Eliminator, and you put it in your smoke unit, and it will eliminate any smells of previous smoke fluids that may have been in there. Kind of resets your smoke fluid so that it has a neutral smell. And they also make this stuff, Be Gone Cleaner, and this is used to clean up any smoke fluid that you spill on your locomotive, which does happen from time to time. You overfill the smoke unit, or some of the smoke fluid blows out of the top, and you get smoke fluid all over your locomotive. And like I said, it's an oil. It can be a little tricky to get off, and this helps with that. It's just a mild detergent that gets rid of that smoke fluid. So yeah, JT's Megasteam. Lisa picked up these old metal railroad signs from a table in the Orange Hall, and they're pretty neat. And she didn't get these to put on the layout or anything like that. She actually got these to put on her desk at work, which I thought was pretty cool. Up next, we picked up some clothing and a towel and a wall decoration. So my girlfriend really liked this Chessie System hand towel. She wants to put it in the bathroom that's off my kitchen so that when people come for the open house, they'll see this. Pretty cool. And then I got 3 t-shirts because it was 3 for $50. So I got a Grand Trunk t-shirt, the Good Track Road. Pretty cool. I got another Frisco shirt because I have a cat named Frisco. Frisco, do not run car with doors open. Kind of neat. Then I got a Central of Georgia t-shirt because I live in Georgia. Why not? The right way. And then finally I got a wall sign. My girlfriend's from Minnesota and she likes DMIR. And so I got this to hang in the stairwell coming down to the layout room. Pretty cool. Up next, this is all Lisa's doing. She kind of made it her mission to find a bunch of vehicles to add to the layout. And so she went to a whole bunch of different booths at York and got all these vehicles. Some of them are new and some of them are used, but they're all nice. None of them are exactly American O scale, 1/48 scale. Some are 1/43, some are 1/50, but they're close enough. So here we've got a Cadillac. I guess that's an Escalade. Pretty cool. Then we've got like a Jeep Cherokee. This is a used one that has the window busted out, but we'll just pretend the window is rolled down. I don't think they actually roll down in the real Jeep Cherokee, but we'll pretend they do. Then we've got a Georgia State Patrol car. This is pretty cool. She got this at the Train World booth. Then we've got a 1967 Chevy Impala. That's pretty cool. And we've got a Mercedes M-Class. Kind of nice. And then we've got a Toyota Land Cruiser. Very cool. I wanted to try to get cars that were somewhat normal. You know, it's easy to get collectible cars like Mustangs and Corvettes and stuff like that, but I want just regular people cars like a Toyota Camry or something like that. And it's really hard to find normal, boring cars, but we tried our best. Then she got an F-150 with a horse trailer. That's kind of cool. The trailer comes off like that. So if you have other trucks with a hitch, you can connect it to those trucks as well. Kind of neat. Then we've got these ones that are still in the box, so let's open this one up. This one's mounted on the platform here. Now, a lot of people get these to collect, you know, if you're into collecting car models, but we're just getting these to put on the layout, so I really don't care if I save the box or keep it in mint condition or anything like that. I'm sure there's car collectors out there, people who collect these things, who are screaming and yelling and typing in the comments section how I'm ruining this thing, but yeah, there it is. Then we've got another UPS truck. This is a larger one. This is like the ones we typically see around here. There it is. Kind of cool. Lisa was dead set on getting some delivery vans. She was like, I gotta find some UPS trucks or FedEx trucks or something like that. So she was really happy when we found these. And then finally, this is the one she was most excited about, a Winnebago. Again, for people who collect these things, I'm sorry if I'm manhandling the box and all that stuff. Okay, there we go. There's the Winnebago. Pretty cool. I think it's a little large for O scale, but it'll be just fine. And it looks great. And she was really excited about this one as well. So, yeah, I think she did pretty good getting a bunch of vehicles to add to the layout. What do you think? I also picked up a couple of Lionel accessories for the layout. So I got a pack of 2 of these double highway lamps. I think I'm going to put these around the yard office. And then I got a pack of 3 of these Lionel yard lights that I'll add to the existing lights that I already have in the yard. So they were asking 15 for these and 20 for these, and I offered them 30 for the 2, and they took it. And by the way, if you've never been to York or any train show, one of the nice things is that almost all of the time the prices are negotiable. So you almost never end up paying the sticker price on any item. You can combine items and get a better deal. That's one of the great things about going to a train show. The next thing I picked up was a structure, a building, and this is it right here. It's got a certificate of authenticity on the front of the box. I think the seller just taped it there. But this is the Grand Central Terminal that Lionel made in 2013, and then they cataloged it for a couple years after that. This is number 413 of only 2013 made. Wow, it really is special. So yeah, this is just a minor thing that I've kind of wanted ever since I saw it in the catalog back then. And somebody had one over in the, I think it was the Silver Hall, and I decided to pick it up. They wanted $250 for it. I ended up getting it for $210. And then I looked on eBay later and someone was selling one for, I think, $175 plus $20 shipping. So I probably could have gotten it for $10 or $15 less on eBay, but I saw it there at the show and decided to pick one up. I think the original price of these was around $300. And if we look on the label down here, the model number is 6-37195, Grand Central Terminal 100th Anniversary Station. 2013 was the 100th anniversary of the Grand Central Terminal, and that's why they made this. Anyway, let's open this thing up and have a look. It's a really nice building, and it's quite different than the other buildings that Lionel typically makes. You'll see what I mean. And so there's the inner box. It's got a nice picture on the front. Very cool. Limited edition run of 2013 pieces. I think that's funny that 2013 pieces is a limited run. Commemorative plaque on rear of terminal, designed and produced by TW Trainworks. Each model is uniquely numbered. Interior illumination. Removable base allows structure to be placed atop an elevated platform. Durable polyresin construction. Translucent windows and doors, and there's a clock insert, and the dimensions are 15¼ inches long by 6 1/8 inches wide by 9 inches high. Got to be careful with it because it is relatively delicate, especially this top piece up here with the clock. And there it is. Yeah, this thing looks great. It's made out of a resin material, and these big door things and the windows look awesome. It's got a clock up here that actually works, although I'm pretty sure the batteries are long since dead, so I'll have to replace those. And it's got that nice green roof to emulate those old copper roofs on old buildings. You know, the tarnished copper. So yeah, and then on the back, there's the badge. You probably can't read it with all the reflection from the light, but it says Grand Central 100 Years, Limited Edition, number 413 of 2013, New York City, New York, USA. So let's go ahead and dim the lights and plug this thing up and see if it actually works. Yeah, it works. Looks great. So I don't know if I'll put this on the layout. I may just put it in my office on display or something like that. Or maybe I'll put it under the Christmas tree or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. Very cool. Up next, this is pretty cool. This is the Lionel Star Trek The Next Generation TMCC Speeder. And I bought this as part of a package deal. I got the speeder as well as the Next Generation train set that I'll show you in just a moment. So I was really happy to get both of them. And for those of you who don't know, I've been a big-time Trekkie all my life. I grew up with the original series, and then later on I got into Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. I was never the biggest fan of Voyager and Enterprise. They were okay, they just weren't my favorite. And these days I'm watching the new series. I'm watching Discovery and Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, as well as Picard. And they're okay, they're kind of hit or miss. I find that when they stop trying to be politically correct to the point of ridiculousness and they focus just on sci-fi, they're pretty good. But anyway, yeah, let's take a look at this. I love these Lionel speeders, and especially the newer TMCC equipped speeders. I've got several of them in my collection, and I'm always happy to add another, especially one that is based on Star Trek. And there it is. Pretty cool. And what's really cute about this is that it's decorated to look like a shuttle from the Enterprise D. So you can see here, this is the shuttlecraft adjustment, which was featured in several episodes of Next Generation. I can't remember how many. And this is shuttlecraft number 3. Right here on the door, it says warning decompression hazard. Very cute, very cool. And they even did the insides like Next Generation. Both of the crew figures are wearing Next Generation uniforms. The guy on the left-hand side is wearing Command Red, and the guy on the right-hand side is wearing yellow, which, oh gosh, I think yellow was Operations, if I'm not mistaken. And it's got a flashing blue light on top. Not bad at all. Probably my favorite two series are the original series and Next Generation, followed by Deep Space Nine. Next Generation, you know, they took a few seasons to get rolling. They really didn't find their stride until the third season. But once they did, man, they were great. As soon as they stopped trying to be the original series and started being their own series, that's when they got really good. But, yeah, right on. All right, we'll come back to Star Trek in a moment with the ready-to-run set. But for now, we've got these weathered Atlas cars. This guy's there every year, and I've always wanted to get a couple of his cars, and so we finally did. And actually, Lisa was the one who really wanted to get some of these. Now, I weather my own cars, but I'm nowhere near as good as this guy, and so part of the reason that I got these is so that, quite frankly, I can emulate his style, you know, learn from these and improve my own weathering skills. So this is the one Lisa picked out, and she got Frisco because I've got a cat named Frisco now. And he just does a fantastic job with the weathering. And he told us he weathers the cars differently based on what the real thing would be constructed out of. So he'll weather a freight car that would be steel different than a freight car that would be made of aluminum, for example, and wood and so on. So, yeah, just looks great. And this probably isn't the best example of what he does, to be honest, and this looks fantastic. So let's check out the other one. I mean, you go to his booth and you'll spend 20 minutes looking at all the different cars he's weathered. And he will do custom weathering, so I got his information so that in the future, if I want to, I can send him a car or a locomotive and he'll weather them for me. I probably won't do that. Like I said, I try to weather my trains myself, but I got these really just to learn from. I mean, they look amazing, and I really want to learn his techniques. But yeah, look at that. I mean, that looks phenomenal. He's got some with graffiti on them. I mean, he just does an amazing job. So I can't wait to run these on my layout. All right, now we're getting to the big one. So I've got this set to show you, and then two locomotives after this. So this is that Star Trek The Next Generation Lion Chief set with Bluetooth. Let's go ahead and get it out of the box. And here it is. I've wanted one of these things for a while, and I'm really excited to finally have one. Like I said, I bought the set and the speeder as a combo deal. I got them both for $400, which I thought was a pretty good deal. So it's a Bluetooth set, you've got the locomotive, and then 3 cars. They've also made some add-on cars with additional captains on them. I didn't get the add-on cars at York, but I probably will at some point. And you've got the Lion Chief remote that's decorated to look like a communicator or a tricorder or something like that. And I think it's got some Star Trek related sounds as well, like the transporter sound and so forth. And one of these is a holodeck car, I think. So yeah, pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to take it out of the box right now, but I will be doing a full review on this in the near future, so keep an eye out for it. Right here, I've got the second to last item I'll be showing you today. This is an MTH locomotive. To be more precise, it's a New Haven EP3 electric with Protosound 2. I think these were made around 2005 or 2006. I've been looking for one of these for a while, was trying to get one at a good price, and I found this one in the Orange Hall. They wanted $550 for it, and I ended up getting it for $475, and I was pretty happy with that price. So let's check it out. Still has the instructions. Funny story, while I was looking for this, I managed to find an MTH B&O box cab in the Orange Hall, and the guy was willing to let it go for a really good price, I think like $250 or something like that. And I said I'd think about it. I walked away, I came back like 10 minutes later, and somebody else had snagged it. So the lesson there is, if you see something and you like it, get it before somebody else does. And the guy who got it, he posted pictures of it on Discord, and I was like, man, that could have been mine. But I did manage to get this EP3. And as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got automatic pantographs, Great sound. Got a little smoke unit for the steam pop-off. Very cool. And I have tested it. It's in perfect working order. The only issue is that the original battery is going bad, and I'll just replace it with a BCR, and it'll be good as new. I'll put this on the track and run it for a minute at the end of this video, but yeah, super cool. I've wanted one of these for a long time, so I can check it off the list. By the way, this is all metal construction. It is super heavy. Okay, here's the final item that I got at York, and I saved the best for last. Many of you know that I really like MTH European trains, and I'm always on the lookout for them. They are extremely hard to find these days, and for that reason, I pretty much have a policy that whenever I find one that I don't have, I will buy it right then and there. Even if I can't afford it at the moment, I'll put it on a credit card, because chances are I will never find one again, and that was certainly the case with this one. So this is a Chaperon Pacific. I've already got a Chaperon in my fleet. It's painted brown. It's the Nord Brown Chaperon Pacific, and it goes with my Orient Express passenger cars. So this is also a Chaperon, but it's the Dealer Appreciation Program pilot version of the Chaperon. So it's unpainted. You can see all the details really well, and it looks amazing. There was actually another Chaperon for sale in the Orange Hall that was painted black, but somebody got to that before I could snag it, and he posted some pictures of it, and I'm really happy that he got it. But man, I was like, if I had seen that first, I would have snagged that one too. But fortunately, I did see this one and was able to grab it. They were asking $2,000 for it, and I ended up getting it for $1,700, which I thought was a very fair price, especially considering how hard these are to find. I mean, finding any MTH European train these days is a challenge, let alone finding a Dealer Appreciation Program pilot version. So yeah, I'm thrilled to add this to my fleet. So let's check it out. It's got the original instruction booklet, always good. Yeah, check that out. That is badass. And like I said, I have one of these that's painted brown, and with the paint on it, you can't really see all the details quite so well, whereas on this one, you can see all these fine wires that are added to it. I mean, it's amazing, the amount of detail on these things. It's absolutely amazing. Wow. And while we were up at York, me and a bunch of other train guys went over to this guy Chris's house, and he has a layout, and I took this over there and was able to run it on his layout, and I was relieved to find that it ran perfectly. Let me close that little hatch there. Yeah, looks amazing. Alright, so there you have it. That's everything we picked up at York this year. So I'm going to end this video by showing you two things, actually. First, I'll show you some of the footage that I shot at Chris's house when we were all hanging out over there on Friday night during York. And then I'll also show you some of the new trains running on my layout. So that's going to do it for now. I'm Eric Siegel. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the ride, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, just told me about that. I'm sure you're falling over and stuff.
Now departing on track 2 for Boston, train number 26, the Merchants Limited.
What just happened? Oh, you hit my hazards. I'm like, what? Why is the car going hazard on me? Okay,
All right.
we're good.